Okay, today we're going to be working on Unit D, which is formatting text with cascading style sheets. So we're going to be using some HTML code to change our font sizes, colors, add backgrounds, and make our website look more like a website. So to do that, you need to open up your Notepad or Notepad++. So search for that and open up Notepad. Once you have Notepad open, you should maximize the screen. And you want to use files from the Unit D folder today. In your book, we're starting on page 75, and the directions that I'm following start on page 78 and 79 if you want to follow along in the book. You are going to navigate to your Unit D folder. Open up the Data Files folder, and then the Unit folder. We're looking for all files here. Once you see all files, you are going to open the HTMD-1 file, which gives you some code for the website we've been working on for Lakeland Reed's Bed and Breakfast. I'm going to have you insert a line before this closing body tag. So after the div tag, hit enter and insert a paragraph tag with your name and have it say HTML5 Unit D. Close the paragraph tag with a slash as such. Next, you're going to save this with a new name. So File, Save As. Make sure you're in your Unit D folder. And we're going to change the name to aboutus.html. Make sure you change the file type to all files, so you can use that .html extension. And save. Next, you're going to open up a new file, which is under File, New. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to go to File, Open. It's in the Unit D folder again. Make sure you see all files. And we want to open up this HTMD-2, which if you look at the type of file, that's a cascading style sheet. And it looks like this. I'm going to have you add, this is a comment at the top. We're going to add a new comment underneath it. So hit enter. You're going to do the slash, the asterisk, and add your name. And then again, HTML5, Unit D. Close out the comment. We're going to save this with a new name as well. So go to File, Save As. In your Unit D folder, that's important. Make sure you're in your Unit D folder. In the Unit folder, we're going to call this Lakeland.css. For the file type, you need to change this to all files. You should see all your other files pop up and save. So those are the two files that we're going to be working on for this unit. If you go to your files for Unit D, I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. our About Us page currently looks like this. So it has the border we created previously, it's centered, and notice that there's no special colors being used, there's no background color, no special font styles. We're going to change that today. So in my notepad, in the Lakeland, make sure the file name is Lakeland, we are going to add some new font rules. You're going to go into this box tag, and after the right margin tag, hit enter. Press the space bar twice, and we are going to add the following. Close it with a semicolon. So it's going to first make the font Tahoma. If the person's computer doesn't have Tahoma, it'll try Arial. If Arial's not available, Helvetica, etc. So save that. Next, we're going to go to File, Open, and change this to All Files. You're going to open this style sheet, which is a cascading style sheet, and you're going to select all of the code below the opening comment. So select all this code, go to Edit, Copy, close this out, go back to, ooh, it closed out my notepad. If it closes out your notepad, open up Notepad. You're going to go into the Lakeland style sheet again. Here's my Lakeland style sheet. And we're going to paste the code we just created. So I'm going to insert a blank line right under my opening comments and go to Edit, Paste. In my heading tag, I also want to add some code. So after this centering tag, hit enter, hit the space bar twice, and you're going to type in the following. Okay, and then save this file. Now you can try opening up the About Us page as a website and see how the font style has changed. Previously it was Times New Roman, now we have a whole new font style. Alright, I'm moving on to pages 80 and 81, which is changing some of the font sizes. So I am in my Lakeland style sheet. I want to go into my heading tag. After the margin, I'm going to hit enter, space bar twice, and add the font size. I'm going to go to this curly bracket after the heading tag, hit enter, and type H2 and a curly bracket, enter, space bar twice, and then type in the font size for any heading 2 font. Make sure you end it with a semicolon, enter, space bar twice, and curling bracket. Now save. Then check out the About Us page in Google Chrome or a browser. So it changes the font size a little bit for our heading 1 and our heading 2. Okay, go back into your notepad, and on pages 82 and 83 we're going to be adding some bold and italics for a few things, for a few pieces of font. You are going to actually, we're going to be using not the Lakeland style sheet, but the About Us page. So you're going to go to File, Open. We want to change this to All Files and open up About Us, which will be all the text for that website, that web page. You're going to place your cursor just to the left of the L in Lakeland Reads in the first paragraph. So make sure you don't want to be in the heading, you want to be in the first paragraph. Place your cursor before the L and type the following. And then after the word reads, we're going to add a closing tag for that, which will be /span. We're going to say that we're going to call this out, which means we're going to make some rule to make it bold. Alright, so save. Go into your text editor and open up the Lakeland style sheet. Actually, we'll do it this way. We're going to open up All Files, find our Lakeland style sheet. In the Lakeland style sheet, we're going to insert a blank line at the end of the document. So right after the contact bracket, hit enter, type #callout, a curly bracket, enter, spacebar twice, and for the font weight of this callout, we're going to designate that as bold. Semicolon, enter, space, space, and the curling bracket. So save that. Now if we go into our files and open up the About Us page, we have made Lakeland Reads bold. Okay, I'm going to go back into my About Us page in text editor. So File, Open. Change this to All Files so that you can open up About Us. And now we want to make some text italicized. So you're going to find where it says The Wizard of Oz. We're going to make that italics. We're going to use a span tag. So span ID equals title after the Wizard of Oz, you're going to close out that span tag. And we're going to save that. Now I want to open up the Lakeland style sheet. In the Lakeland style sheet, we need to make another rule. So after our call out rule, we're going to make a title rule. So hit enter. It's going to say title, curly bracket, enter, spacebar twice, the font style will be italics for this. You use a semicolon, enter, space twice, and close out that code. We're going to save that as well. Now we're going to take a look at our About Us page as a website, and that did not work. So let's go back and see what we did wrong. This should be italicized. Oh, I put italics. It needs to say italic. So take off the S, make it say italic, save it. Let's try that again. Okay, so I had to say italic, not italics, and that worked. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of font color to our website. Right now everything is all black. That's the default. We want to change the owner's name to green. So if we go into our text editor, we want to open up our About Us code. So go to Open. I want this to say All Files, find About Us. We're going to open this up in the notepad. Move your cursor just to the left of the P. At the start of the name, Philip Blaine. And you're going to type another span ID. And we're going to call this name. Then at the end of the word proprietor, we're going to close out that span tag. Now in our style sheet, we need to create a rule saying that anything designated as name is going to be green. So save this. Go to File, Open. Let's open up our style sheet. I'm sorry, open up the Lakeland style sheet. After title, hit enter again. I'm at the bottom of the document. You're going to type hashtag name, curly brace, enter, spacebar twice, and here's our color rule. RGB stands for red, green, blue, and we're picking our color. 0, 82, 0. So this is just going to be a shade of green. Semicolon, enter, and space bar twice with a curly brace. Save that. Now open up your About Us page as a website. And you can see the owner's name is in green font. Okay, currently the background of the page is white. We're going to also make some changes to the background and to this heading, and as well as to the contact information. So we need to return to our Lakeland style sheet. in the notepad. For the H1 style rule, we're going to go back up to this H1 style rule here and add some rules that say our heading is going to be green. So I'm going to hit enter, space bar twice, and type the following. Color of any text is going to be white. Hit a semicolon, enter, space bar twice, and then you're going to get your background. And we're going to make that the same shade of green. Semicolon. Next, we're going to insert a blank line above the curly brace for our contact information. So I'm going to be using this code. I'm going to hit enter after the margin bottom, space bar twice. I'm going to type in background. There's a page in your book where you can refer to all these colors and what they mean. And you can see examples of all these red, green, blue colors. This is going to make the background of our page a light yellow color. And our box is going to be kind of an orangey color. We're going to go to our box style rule right here. After this text, I'm going to hit enter again. Oh, you know, I kind of messed this up. My background for my box should have this text. So I'm going to cut this. Ready? So I'm going to go to edit, cut. That is actually going to go in my box. So hit enter, space bar twice, and then edit, paste. Now I'm going to go to my contact information. Oh, I'm totally messing this up. After the bottom margin for my contact, I'm going to have background, semicolon, RGB 218, comma, 165, comma, 32, parentheses, semicolon. We're also going to add some padding to our H1. So after this H1, padding is going to add some space around our heading. Hit enter, space bar twice. .25 EM, semicolon. Let's save this. Check and make sure you did it right. You should have padding. We added a background color to the box. We added a background color to our contact information. One other thing we want to do is make the name of the owner bold. So after You go to the very bottom, after the color tag, we're going to hit enter, spacebar twice, and we're going to type font weight bold, semicolon. Let's save that one more time. And now take a look at our website and see how it looks. So you're going to go to About Us, and you'll notice this does have a green background with white text. The owner's name is now bold. It has a yellow background. So that looks good. We are going to get out of this style sheet for a minute and open up About Us. So File, Open. Make this say All Files and open up About Us in your notepad. We're going to be using a special character, which is the and sign, called an ampersand. So in the title where this says Lakeland Reed's Bed and Breakfast, we want to delete the word and you're going to type the and sign, amp, and a semicolon. Then save that. Then go to the heading. Oh, I'm sorry, we did it in the heading. We're going to do the same thing in the title. So find your title, delete the word and, type in the and sign, amp, semicolon. And save it. And now take a look at your website in Google Chrome. And notice now we have an and sign here. And there's also an and sign. Well, if you could see it, it's an and sign in our title on the tab. Okay, our last step is going to be providing an alternative style sheet for when we want to print. So if somebody was going to print and we didn't want this to print with all this color and the border, we could make an alternative style sheet so that somebody printing, it would be more user-friendly. It wouldn't waste their colored ink. It wouldn't waste extra ink by having a box. So you're going to open up the Lakeland style sheet in your text editor. So I'm going to be in Notepad, which is my text editor. Go to File, Open. Open up my Lakeland style sheet. We're going to create an alternative style sheet, one that's used for printing. So we're going to save a copy. You do this by going to File, Save As. We're going to call this LL for Lakeland print.css. Make this say all files. LL print.css. Save. So notice the new name up at the top of our notepad. In the H1 style rule, we're going to delete this color and background text. So just select and delete that. In our box style rule, we want to remove the background and border. I'm going to take away the background by hitting backspace or delete, and I want to take away the border as well. I want to go to the contact style rule. In the contact style rule, I want to take away the background. In the name style rule, I want to take away the color there. Now I'm going to save this. This is my new LL print style sheet. Now I need to open up my About Us page in the notepad. So go to File, Open. Open up About Us here in Notepad. In the link element up here, we're going to be adding a little bit of text. After the type tag, I'm going to have it say media equals screen and then I'm going to copy and paste this this line right here. So edit, copy. After it, I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to hit space 4 times. I'm going to also have a media screen for printing. So change this to say print. And rather than lakeland.css, this is going to say llprint.css. You're going to save this. Now I'm going to try to see if I can find a print preview of that web page. So I want to open up About Us as a web page. Now if I go to print, the print preview should show all black and white with no border. Okay, and that's how it looks. Took away the green, it took away any background color. So that's actually the last step for this chapter. You are going to start Unit E after this. So thank you for watching.